one parallel side, not on all four sides. So like two sides, put notches on two sides. All right, that one works. Now it's even. Okay, so if I'm going to attach elastic, this is wide elastic, but I think for this wider pin cushion it would be fine. I am going to cut a piece of elastic here. Just going to lay it right on the edge in the center of that notch and cut my elastic going on the edge. Make sure that you lay it on the right side of your fabric here. Get your notches lined back up. And you just want to put a couple pieces of elastic in there. So I can see I do not have this centered. My elastic is not centered. So give me a second, let me make sure I got it centered in that notch. So you got to center it in the notch. Pin your elastic down. And guys, when you pin, you want to pin perpendicular to where your stitch line is going to be. So it will intersect, your pins will intersect your stitch line. Okay, now, whenever you're sewing a pillow, you do not want to start right on the corner, because if you do, it's not going to come out right. So right here, if you'll get real close, this is your 5/8 inch seam line. We do not want to sew at 5/8 because our seam allowance is at a 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to move it over. If a 1/2 inch is 4/8, I'm just going to move it over to the left one line. When you are sewing, this is one of the single most important things that you can do, is to make sure that if your seam allowance is a 1/2 inch, you are following the edge of your fabric right here on that 1/2 inch line, or the edge of your fabric on the 5/8 inch line. So I've got to go back to my 1, which is just my straight stitch here. I'm going to go, whoops. I'm going to go up to a 3 on my stitch length, sew a few stitches, back stitch, come down. Now, when the edge, like if you're sewing a pillow and it is 5/8, when the edge of your fabric here is lined up with that, then that's 5/8. So you want to just do it another turn or two so that it's about 1/8 of an inch from the edge there. Leave your needle in your fabric, lift your presser foot up, and then turn it. We're going to come. We don't want to sew over our pin, but I do want to sew over my elastic 2 or 3 times because I don't want that elastic to come out. So I'm just going to use my back stitch button, come down, leave my needle in, and you guys can see I'm just following this 1/2 inch mark. If you get off, all you have to do is push it the other way. You make sure that you lift your presser foot in those corners each time. And if you guys go back and look at the video and it looks like I'm sewing at 5/8, I may very well be because I'm sewing very crooked here, so it's hard to keep it straight. But just make sure that you're on your 1/2 inch mark there. Now I'm back to the beginning, and I do not want to sew all the way down to close it up. I'm just going to sew a little bit just so I can have enough space there to stuff it together. Now I'm ready to stuff my pin cushion, and I will show you how to trim the bulk of your corners and stuff your pin cushion in the next video.